Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. I'm your host Caleb and welcome to the 4th episode of 2b2t News. Before I hop into what this episode is about, I just want to say sorry for the delay between episodes. I'm going to try and post more frequently here in the future, but in the meantime there's actually something all of you can do to help me post more often. Join the 2b2t News Discord server down below, and every time something interesting happens, post it in the video news channel. Anyways, that is enough rambling for now. Today I will be talking about the following: how players created the 2b2t logo on r/place, how a group has just built the biggest spawn logo out of Obsidian, a survey that took place about 2b2t's Hause, how the biggest map art on 2b2t was just completed, how Hause patched some speed exploits, some of the results from the 2b2t Census, how a player created an AFK Elytra Bot for 2b2t, how a popular 2b2t YouTuber's base was griefed, and lastly how someone created a bot that griefs Hause. Before I jump into the news, this video is sponsored by 2b2t.shop. They have kindly offered to host an in-game giveaway on this video and future 2b2t news videos. Make sure to join their Discord server with the links down below and leave a comment on this video with your Discord username. I will randomly choose one of the comments to win free kits and items on 2b2t. I will personally DM the winners with the coordinates to their rewards. Huge shout out to 2b2t.shop for sponsoring this video and the giveaway. This is a slightly older story, and I'm sure most of you have already heard of or know about the r/place board on Reddit. But just in case you don't, here is a quick recap. r/place was a page opened on Reddit where users could select a color and place a single pixel every 5 minutes on an artboard. Users created their own groups and organized full-on art pieces, with each member contributing to the final artwork. A bunch of 2b2t players created a Discord server, and over 2,000 people joined to partake in the artwork. With a little bit of organization, the group was able to create a 2b2t logo that was visible for a few hours on the artboard. The Highway Workers Union has just created the biggest Obsidian logo on 2b2t. The logo was built in the Nether and spans across nearly 10,000 blocks. The logo was created with 28,168,258 obsidian. It would take 38 double chests containing shulkers filled with ender chests to create that much obsidian. This makes the logo bigger than the Masonic Eclipse logo at the overworld spawn, which was built with 28,154,762 blocks of obsidian. The Highway Workers Union also used 340 shulkers full with pickaxes to clear the area for the logo. Most of the work was done using Highway Tools, which is an amazing free and open source plugin for the Lambda client. The plugin is specifically made for projects like this on 2b2t and other Anarchy servers. The HWU also recently sent out a survey to the 2b2t community asking a few questions about highways and people's travel habits. Here are a few of the questions that were asked and some of the answers from the 2b2t community. Do you travel on 2b2t's Nether highways? 62.4% of the community said that they travel on the highways multiple times per week, while 24.9% of people said that they occasionally use the highways for travel. What do you think about the current status of the Nether highways? 45.3% of the community said that the highways were in good condition, while 29.3% of players said that they were in an okay condition. In your opinion, what should be improved about the current 2b2t Nether highway system? Most people seem to agree that the highways needed to be cleaned more often of debris and small griefs. What project do you think would be most useful in the future for the entire community? 53.6% of players said that making the diagonal highway wider and easier for Elytra would be most useful, and 29.8% of players said that adding more ring roads around Nether's spawn would be most useful. I assume that the data collected in this survey will influence what the HWU and other highway groups work on next. and this could mean cleaner highways and better diagonal highways for everyone, which I personally think is pretty cool. As most of you have probably already seen from FredMC's video, one of the largest map arts ever created on 2b2t was recently finished. The project was based on the popular board game Mapopoly, but filled with 2b2t trivia. All of the maps combine into a giant board that is fully playable. The project scale is truly mind-boggling. The project spans over 121 different maps, making one giant map. FredMC also goes into detail about how the 2 million carpets that were used for this project were originally stolen from another famous base on 2b2t. I will link his video down below for anyone that is interested. Hause has recently patched entity speed, at least partially. This sucks for a lot of players, especially those who are busy traveling. Thankfully, there are still a few Elytra exploits that let users travel at speeds up to 380 km/h using special configs and clients. If any of you are scared of pie charts and data, you may want to skip this part of the video. However, for those of you that stay, I promise you will learn some very interesting things about 2b2t and its player base. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know what the 2b2t Census is, it is a group of players that once a year ask the 2b2t community a bunch of questions and then sort all of the data into very interesting and easy to understand graphs. I can't cover everything they released this year, but I will tell you what I found most interesting. If anyone wants to see the rest of the results, they will be linked down below. They started off by asking players what year they joined 2b2t in, and the results may surprise you. According to the results, 27.7% of players joined in 2020, while 20% of the currently active player base joined in 2021. Surprisingly, only 8.3% of players joined back in 2016 when Russia was on the server. They also asked people what continent they lived in. 54.9% of the participants said that they lived in North America. The next highest was Europe with 32% of players, then Asia with 6% of players, then Australia with 5.8% of players, then South America with 1.2% of players, while only 0.1% of the participants were from Africa. They also held a popularity contest where people could nominate who they thought was most popular on the server. It is worth noting that they removed Fit and Pop Bob from the dataset because their names alone took up 50% of the total answers. The top 10 results were as follows: Redstoner, Joey_Coconut, XCC2, iTristan, BGP, Bucky Buck Buck, Housemaster, iMemes, Jared2013, and lastly Hermitoclock. Player by the name of Rulesoff recently created a custom module in his private client that allows him to AFK Elytra fly around 2b2t. The module is very intelligent, and if the player gets stuck or stops flying, it searches for a gap in the nether roof and then restarts the flying process automatically. To show off his new module and test its capabilities, he loaded an account with Elytras and other goods and set it to travel to the world border while he left it AFK. His first attempt took nearly 26 hours, while his second attempt only took 19 hours, 10 minutes and 39 seconds. It is worth noting that the journey was not fully AFK'd. Rulesoff did have to stop and manually refill his inventory with Elytras a few times, but the fact that most of the journey was hands-off is very impressive. I asked him a few questions, and for those wondering, he does not plan to release his client configs or the AFK Elytra Fly module to the public. Rulesoff also told me that he plans to attempt more speedruns with the AFK Elytra Fly module, and he plans to stream them. I've linked his Twitch down below. Any support sent his way would, I'm sure, be much appreciated. Sadly, popular 2b2t YouTuber FossVincent1 released a video this week with the story of his 2b2t base and how it was recently griefed. The video was really interesting, and he ended the video on a positive note, stating that it was time to move on and create new bases. Speaking of AFK bots for 2b2t, someone has created a bot that escapes spawn, gathers resources, and then crafts slime and pickaxes. The bot then travels to a nether portal, crosses dimensions, then travels to the closest highway. Once it reaches the highway, the bot starts slowly ripping up the highway and using the collected obsidian to pillar up on the highway. Yes, that's right, someone has created an AFK highway griefer bot. I don't think this is a huge threat to 2b2t's highways, as it takes so much time to do very little damage. The script could also be recreated with bots that clean the highways, so maybe that is something to look forward to in the future. As always, links to all of the stories in this video are in the video's description, so if you would like to participate in one of the events or join the Highway Workers Union, make sure to join their Discord server with the links down below. Thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. If you play on 2b2t, or even if you're just interested in the absurd things that happen on the server, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss anything important. Huge shout out to 2b2t.shop for sponsoring this video and the giveaway. Don't forget to leave a comment with your Discord username. Thanks for watching 2b2t News. I have been your host Caleb, and as always, peace in the Middle East.